Hello Internet and welcome back to Satisfactory hard mode. I'm just very quickly popping the rules up here for you and then we'll get back into it. My version of hard mode is all multipliers, so times 5 power, 2 times recipe costs and times 100 elevator parts. And also random nodes and random purity. And then some added rules: no rebuilding entire factories, automating the parts we get from milestones before unlocking the next one, and no use of parts we can't make yet. What have I been up to? We have returned from a whole lot of hunting and grinding materials, and it's time to deal with this, I think. The power situation is slightly recovering, but it's still very, very marginal. So I suspect having that factory and starting to make rotors and smart plates will break everything. I'll switch that... Thank you, game. I'll switch that back to plates for now, just to have a bit of a supply. The bean is very interested in the factory. I've adopted some more doggos, which are hiding down there at the moment. Some of them have even given me some basic materials, which honestly is more appreciated currently than anything else. And we have a hard drive to choose. And I'm going to go for the copper rotor, mostly because I have a lot of copper in this area. And while the bolted plate would be handy to save machinery, this will save machinery too. And like I said, I have copper. I need rotors. Let's go. The plan is to make the bare minimum setup to make some kind of smart plate, even if it's like 0.1 a second or something. I just want to, be able to have things going. The screws are gonna come over from over there. Because this is the same grid, I'm just gonna have an overpass here. Oh, I said I was gonna check the doggos. Excuse me. If they're stuck behind there, then at least I don't have to worry about them, getting into shenanigans. Back up to explanations. Doggo's still stuck, good. Screws come up here. The space elevator is gonna go up there somewhere. And we're gonna produce most of the parts here, somewhere. And this is gonna be like a central feature. What I need to decide is how I arrange the assemblers. Now, I can either have rotors in the first section of the building and then smart plates over here, or I can have rotors on one level and smart plates on another. It technically makes sense to have rotors here and then smart plates over here, because it kind of flows. Copper, rotors, smart plates, elevator. Of course, it also flows rotors, smart plates, elevator, and I'm gonna need a hell of a lot of them either way. But we have verticality, the sky's the limit. In terms of expandability, it would be nice to keep the bottom clear so I can do vehicles and stuff if needed. And just generally have a good, way to travel through places. We've made some decisions, let's work on it. Oh, by the way, if anyone cares, we're currently at about 12 hours for this playthrough. A quick reminder that phase 1 on a normal playthrough takes me about 3 hours, so it's like, this is gonna take a whole lot of time. And yes, it's raining. I'm enjoying the rain. Things are wet. Things are dry. And if you get enough shelter, the noise quiets down. They've done a good job with the rain. Okay, now that we're up here, I wanted to leave the bottom free. Why did I? I can put those down when I actually have, you know, spare materials. By the way, this raised bit will be a walkway eventually. That'll be a road going through here at one point. And we're also going to need, you know, a road towards steel, a road towards the reinforced plates, etc. Oh no, the doggos are loose. Oh, I hope they don't get themselves in trouble. We need to work out where things go here. Bear with the clipping for the moment, it's just for the sake of convenience. And if I remember correctly with the numbers these days... Where's the wire? All the way down there. Yeah, it will be one smelter to one constructor. I keep being amazed at the expense of everything. Oh, well, I'm at it. We're also going to need a couple of sheets. That's 40 to 10. I could split it 50-50. That might be a start. Not an ideal start, but it would be a start. Okay, let's work out spacing. Oh, there's some rocks in the way. I have no... Well, I do have obelisks, thanks to doggos, but I don't have a detonator, so that's a moot point. I could then make the bottom of this area just smelters and then move things up, or I could have little modules. Either way, it's gonna start with a splitter. Nothing as certain as a splitter in front of a miner. Yeah, I think if I have just a little array of smelters here, I have enough space to put conveyor lifts there, and then I can build things on top. In fact, what I'd really like to do is turn these into a bit of a cage, you know, like a rack of smelter with its body constructor on top. This is sitting right on the middle of a thing, so if I make a rack, it would be a little bit more cramped. We'd need to rebuild this with an actual hole at some point, instead of the cheats version. And will you line up, please? This is in the way. I don't know why it's not happy to be lining up, but that should be lined up. Oh no, it's not. Can we get up there? It's round. Surely. There we go. Oh. Overdid it. That is lined up. That should do. In fact, if we move it back one, that should snap when I'm rebuilding it. And we do the same thing with this guy. And bear the indignity of having to walk around the place all the time. It is nice that pressing H to lock gives you a bit more leeway with placing things. This might be a bit more of a problem. As much as we get leeway, we might as well do it properly. That gives us a click. And that gives us a little bit more space. There's gonna be half foundations here, walkways or something, to make this work out. So one of those is gonna be wire for general usage. And the other one is going to be sheets for the rotors. And I'm not even going to attempt to think about cable and stuff yet. I still have a manual miner down there. A full automation is a luxury we just can't afford right now. Now we need to work out the other side. So what's going to happen? We're gonna have a conveyor coming out here. That's going to need to go all the way over there. It ends on that platform. It's apparently going to need an in-between bit. Usually I do like a tower with conveyor wall holds and like have it be a little HUD. I'm not sure what would work best here. If I make a support thing, it's probably going to be around here. And then it'll come in here somewhere, and how far is that going to go? Here? Oh, one more. I think this would be a pleasant corner. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna do a very rare thing, but just to actually have some supported foundations. Oh, wait, no, that was actually wrong. If it's the corner of the building, it'll be this bit. And then it goes over here, like that. And there's a bean in my ramp. Okay, so what we would in fact do, this comes over here. Let's just put it in the middle, shall we? Subject to change, remember? And then it comes in here. And then we're gonna need a viewpoint for building. Oop. Click the buttons in the wrong order. And we're going to have sheets coming through here in some way. I think if I put it on this bit, that gives us, well, there's one bit for dealing with logistics and one bit for walking, essentially. Let me just see if we can revamp the walk. I think this is going to be a row of assemblers one way or the other. So if you go with the bit for giving it space to breathe, kind of almost want to put it all the way over here. And I'm probably going to make one of these do double duty for the moment until I have a better sense of the space. And, you know, more resources to actually build buildings with. This is... My experience with this mode is both frustrating and rewarding. It's so slow to get started, but everything you build becomes a lot more meaningful, I guess. Like, it's suddenly not trivial to build any of this. Not by any stretch of the imagination. You can't just... you can't just put things down and end up with a large factory. You can't race it, you can't rush it in any way, shape or form. But once you have something going, like, it feels like you've put actual effort into it. This game can often feel like you get into it. It's very, very much a case of if it fits your brain, you can spend hours and hours and hours and all day just fiddling with your factory and plonking down the next bit and the next bit and the next bit. Whereas now I'm kind of very carefully thinking about what I'm building, not just because of the challenge I set myself of not refactoring factories, but also because even just the thought of building 2 smelters and 2 constructors there, I was honestly going, is it worth having one for wire? Because it's so expensive overall. But once you have it done, and once it actually runs and you can afford it, you have actually accomplished something. I guess it depends what you're looking to get out of this kind of game. Right, I do want to have this going up. Can rebuild the logistics if you need to, that's allowed. I'm not convinced that is it? That's the same level, yeah. Now we need to get that all the way over there. Okay, what's easier, putting the lift here or on the other side? Okay, how high do we need to put this? Can probably fix this later. Can rebuild the logistics if they don't work. I think that's actually right. Good God, something works out. So that means this one will be for sheets. And now the horrible task of working out the numbers. We have coming out 60. Okay, so each of them is spitting out 15. So little. This will be wire. Which we won't need more than 1 stack of at a time, I think. And this... See, and I have the choice of... If the wire fills up, I'll have spare ingots. And they can overflow in this direction. But that means having the machines at full power. It doesn't feel like something I should rely on. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it at close to 15 as I can make it. So that gives me... Actually, 40 was... yeah, we'll go with that. So at most we're getting 4 copper sheets. Okay, so our 4 copper sheets per minute can supply this at maybe 9%. Which gives us 1 rotor per minute, which I believe is actually matching up with our reinforced plate factory, which is kind of sad. But hey, it's what we can make and what we can support. And then we put this down to 25% for that 1 per minute that we can apparently supply this with. And then the next job will be to plug this all together and find more biofuel for powering it all. You might have noticed that I've kept all my power grids quite separate. I'm gonna keep doing that, and in fact I've started to also power them almost entirely separately. Like the basic machines use 20. So if I take 3 of those, that's 2 bioreactors. Generators. Burners. What are they called? Biomass burners. It alliterates. Of course that's what they're called. You'd think I have a better handle on the names for things. But yeah, that's what I've been doing, and it seems to slightly avoid the little power jump that you get when you try and start a grid. So I'm going to try and fuel and power all of this stuff. And yeah, then we should be starting to make smart plates. I dare say at 1 per minute I don't need to give this a storage unit. At least not in a hurry, but eventually we'll need to start feeding it to the space elevator that we haven't built yet. We'll be having to save up for that. And this gives us how much again? Half per minute. So 10,000 minutes. 166.6 repeating hours. We so need to scale this up. But I don't know how I'm gonna power it. I'll see you when something successfully happens, I suppose. Or maybe I just have a breakdown and start crying about having to fuel all this stuff. I did say earlier, even if it just makes half a smart plate per minute, I did not think I would be that accurate. I was just pulling that number out of my arse. In theory, I should be working on automating modular frames as well, because we got them in this one. Modular frames are, can I remember offhand, reinforced plates and rods? Do it the quick way. Yes, reinforced plates and rods. So according to the rules, I have to do this before I unlock anything else. That might be something I can set up over at the iron factory. So the primary goals currently are keeping the main factories fueled, i.e. making rotors, making reinforced plates, turning them into smart plates. The concrete is kind of secondary. The wire is kind of secondary too, although I'm gonna need a hell of a lot of it for the elevator. I'm probably going to be running around in circles, killing every hog I see, and occasionally cave diving into spider territory. And I'll hopefully see you in less than 167 hours. Wish me luck. Alright, I'm just quickly checking in. If you're wondering about our progress, we have made 8 plates. But the actual reason I'm here is I've thought about how else I can sort out the power. And what you'd ordinarily do is loot some crash sites and try and get yourself to some vaguely automated power. You can probably get enough stuff from crash sites to, at the very least, get yourself the power augmented of the summer slopes. Or maybe you can get enough for geothermal, although if I remember correctly, building those takes high-speed connectors, which we of course have, so it's in theory not a problem. What is a problem is the rule that I gave myself about not using stuff we can't produce yet. So I am quite literally stuck with biomass, but a few leaves won't get me very far. The most efficient way so far, it seems, if I don't want to clear cut a forest, is to go for, aliens. Poking around the caves. Did you know that the cave below here has an entire 6 spiders in it? Which is quite a nice chunk for one location. And then of course you have the pigs on top, but it needs to respawn first. Okay, I keep sidetracking. Point is, I need to move around, I need to move fast, and I need to try and get myself as much killing in as possible in a short time as possible. So I want Blade Runners. And for Blade Runners we need to start researching. Really? That broke my ankles? Fine. And we need to research quartz. The bouncing gets you quite some speed if you can keep it up in that way. Yeah, this is a flat area. That's probably going to become a factory too, isn't it? And it's going to give me like 12 biofuel or something ridiculously small like that. It's slightly depressing. Yes, tell us about quartz.
Unknown crystalline mineral collected. This mineral is composed of the same chemical elements as quartz and may yield similar industrial functions. Research it in the MAM to establish classification and potential application.
I was lucky I didn't check before leaving if I had to mine around. I don't know if one quartz node is going to give us enough. Please, dog, I have something good. And by good, I mean low level, because that's all I can use. Okay. Head start on the aluminium, apparently. Right, research. Man. Quartz.
The crystalline mineral was a previously unknown variation of quartz, with uniquely large and flawless crystals, normally only found in synthetic quartz. The industrial application of this mineral will follow that of its synthetic counterpart, specifically in communication and exploration technologies.
And now we are looking for a bit more to get the research started. Does anyone respawn down here? No. Cool. No biomass for me. Oh, and there's Nomi. Nomi is in fact still alive and well, just stuck on some rocks. In some rocks apparently. Let me pet you. You don't have anything. Can you not look for things while you're stuck there? Okay, let's learn how to make silica. I keep going to the wrong thing.
Research completed. Silica recipe unlocked. New quartz research available.
I'm not sure what the most efficient way to get up there is. I'll just... It doesn't matter that much. This is not a speed run. I just need some blade runners. I hope that will be enough for getting our research done. There we go, blade runners.
Blade runners unlocked. Equipped to run faster, jump with greater force, and decrease fall damage that might otherwise have lowered your value to fix it.
And just enough silica to actually make a pair. Wonderful. For faster running. Well, that's all I wanted to get recorded. I shall start my running around, see if I can actually keep the factory going. And yeah, pray for me, because it's looking more and more like 167 hours is somewhat accurate. Okay, so I've had a think about the whole power situation. Usually I can play in a way where I'll go, okay, shrug, I'll pick up some wood, I'll pick up some dead things, and it's enough. It's fine. For the 5 times power cost in the way I'm playing this at the moment, how do I even begin to scale up? It's not like those woody spots that I'm harvesting, like I've come back with like 200 wood and it's gonna be gone very quickly. It feels like a drop in the ocean. I keep listening to my machines turn off, and I know even on the best case scenario I'm currently looking at 160 odd hours to finish the phase. Not even counting anything I need aside from the smart plating, that's just for the smart plating. And the only reason this is a problem is because of my self-imposed limitations of materials for the map. And by that I mean stuff we can't make yet. See, the thing is, with Skim you could put the foliage back. I could just say, okay, I'll get through this phase, and then I'll put the foliage back, and then I have my pretty world, and, it's no big deal. Is it a big deal? Is it not a big deal? I can't decide. And quite frankly, if I start thinking about putting the map back, resetting the foliage, it's a slippery slope to saying, okay, I'll just give myself some biofuel, to saying, screw this phase, I want it to be over with, let's just, give ourselves the smart plates or skip phase, or I don't even know what options there are. Don't put yourself through this. You can watch me suffer and agonize over environmentalism versus 5 times power costs, apparently, and be glad you're not doing it. I hope that once I get to coal, it will feel a lot less like suffering, because otherwise I'm honestly not sure if I can bring myself to keep doing this. It is starting to be quite insane, but I'm 16 hours in, and how long do I want to keep doing this instead of, playing the actual factory game? And I could just go with what the game wants me to do. So geothermal it is. Well, it's not technically what the game wants me to do, because I'm skipping ahead quite a lot, but it will work. I checked the sloops as well, but I need to make a lot of SAM stuff, and that requires a lot of steel pipe. And that's not something that you seem to get that often or that easily in crash sites compared to high-speed connectors and circuit boards. So what I've done is I've gone on a grand adventure that wouldn't really work unless everything's on passive. I've gotten myself a bunch of materials, and I need to do one more thing. Where did I put my miner? I had to empty out my inventory a bit for the sake of getting this all to work. And I came back with a full inventory either way. Yeah, we're gonna need some Caterium, make our way down the Caterium tree, but it shouldn't be too much of a problem. She says not having enough. Yeah, I usually try to be very intentional with what random ores I unlock, but Caterium is going to be useful anyway for hard drive alternatives, because the amount we have here, it could actually be quite useful. Can't remember what it... I'm sure there were other bits of Caterium around, but we'll get there. It's a piece of coal. That's not what we need. I've been running around this place so many times, and of course I wasn't looking for Caterium, so I didn't remember where the Caterium is. There's some. So I will have to string my way to an awful lot of power poles. And we don't have the large overland ones, so it's going to be a little bit of a pain to do, but... One geothermal generator combined with a little bit of biomass should hopefully cover it, or at least the smart plates. God, it's nothing. When you're handcrafting Caterium, it really hammers at home how bad the conversion ratio is. But yeah, usually the thing with geothermal is that you get yourself the what should we call it? Rain. God, I'm really annoyed with myself for how bad I'm at stringing words together at the moment, which doesn't help itself, because I'm just being annoyed at myself for going Okay, I can't store the fluctuations. So what we then need to do is basically use the biomass as storage for the fluctuations, kind of. Because biomass only burns when you need it. And at the very least, we will be needing to stick to the lower limits of what we can get. And there's some more here. Shiny. Still not a lot. In fact, still barely anything. I think what I'm going to do is a little cheesy trick, courtesy of speedrunners. You can both mine and craft. And even then it's slow. Why do I have such trouble clicking on the nodes at the moment? I've noticed that since I started.
Research completed. Quickwire recipe unlocked. New Caterium research available. New Caterium research options available. Congratulations on finding this metal. Many Fix-It initiatives will benefit from Caterium's applicability in advanced engineering. Also, it is probably not sentient, and so unlikely to feel pain as we exploit it.
I don't know why you had to say it like that. The jumping was very unintentional. The fuck? I needed 500, didn't I? My brain is storing no information. Yeah, 500. This will take a while. Okay, so far so good. I'm gonna guess that we're gonna need a lot more wire than I currently have in any way, shape or form.
Research completed.
Oh god.
High-speed connector recipe unlocked. New Caterium research available.
Okay, so I need 1,000 wire. Right. Okay. Well then. I think I might plop down another portable miner. See you later.
Geothermal generator unlocked. Geysers added to the object scanner. When life gives you lemons, make lemonade. When life gives you deadly geothermal vents, run directly towards them and build generators. Use potentially lethal natural phenomena for your own benefit. It's the fix-it way.
Well, it's been a journey. So much quick wire. So much hunting for things, trying to keep it fueled. So much handcrafting to help it out while I had some dead time. Not that I had a lot of dead time in between hunting sessions. And, here we are. I have my materials. I have a geyser source splashing away. Let's put it down. How do we want this? Does it even matter? Not really. And I have a line ready, go. Why are you yellow? Is it because you're not connected to anything yet? I hope that's the only reason. Because otherwise I'm gonna scream. That's because the other, I connected some of my grid and of course it collapsed because it can't deal. Right, let me head back home. And here we are. Now we just need to connect up some machinery. Carefully. It is utter spaghetti by this point. Ah, hallelujah. Okay. The factory is factoring again. And this time, I don't have to keep recharging it with biomass. I started on modular frames over there, but apparently we're not connecting those yet. But given my rules, I do need to automate them before the next milestone, which I realized earlier. But that shouldn't take too much longer. I can probably give myself some more inventory space now that I have some leisure time. Yeah, right. What's actually going to happen is that I'm going to be trying to run some of my other factories desperately, because let's just go up there. I need to remorph this and see if I can tweak anything, but all things considered, I am still only making half a smart plate a minute, and we need a lot of them for phase 1, because everything's times 100. So I'm going to spend some time making sure the numbers are correct. But for now, at least it keeps running. If I can get enough biofuel together to keep some bioburner stuffed, I can probably use them as a sort of battery. So yeah, it took a while to get this going, but it is going now. It'll take a while longer to scale it up, if I can manage it at all. And here we are again. The landscape is slowly changing as we intrude further and further on this beautiful, beautiful planet. But this little fixed penal colony must continue, and, as you can see, we have actually got everything together we need for the space elevator. And I don't want to leave you without enjoying the animation, because I don't know about anyone else, but I always think it's very impressive and very enjoyable to watch. But before I do that, let's have a look around. Over there, the not currently powered because we don't have the power for it, but it is a modular frames factory, which means I've been researching further. Down there, we have a sink. It's also not plugged in. It gets plugged in on occasion when I can keep an eye on the power. Because, as you may or may not know, geothermal generators have a curve, and we can't always run the sink. We have some handcrafted silica going in there from a hand mine over there. And the first thing I bought was concrete foundations. Because, oh my god, I'm so hurting for plates. So some bits and pieces like, the walkways and stuff and the ramps have been converted to concrete. Time to build a space elevator. Now, I just locked that. So this is where we're going to hopefully have our entry for looking at things. Excuse me. Oh, don't tell me I've messed up by this. Trying to get it centered. I might have miscounted slightly here because this is a walkway. I was kind of gonna keep this, so... Okay, we're fixing this. Excuse me. Your walkway. That's enough plates to do this again. That should do it. Can have a walkway coming up here, standing right in front of it. We can have... I'll have to see about the belts. But yeah, here it goes. Oh, this is an entirely new perspective. All locked in.
Project assembly initialized. Congratulations, Pioneer. The space elevator will now automatically connect with the Project Assembly orbital platform. Project assembly is divided into phases, each of which require the delivery of project parts, such as smart plating, via the space elevator. Subsequent phases unlock access to new tiers with more advanced technologies to construct, automate, explore, and exploit. It is time to be honest. This project is part of the Save the Day program, the largest united undertaking in human history, destined to save us all. Earth is in peril and only Fix-It pioneers offer hope for survival. Fix-It is counting on you. Humanity is counting on you. Do not let fix it down.
Can't we just move here? Okay, I know. Wait, this... This shows you how much attention I've been paying lately. Did they remove the keyboard and the... When did they remove the keyboard and the mug? I really might not have been paying a lot of attention. But yeah, there's the big number, 5,000. Let's check the box, shall we? I have 145. There's 17 in there. I'm grabbing those two. The 17 matters. It's a drop in the ocean, but it matters. Once we have my factory, we should be able to belt it across here and in there. That should work out quite nicely. For now, let's chuck it all in there. Barest hint of progress. I slightly regret having the reinforced plates over there and the modular frames here. Because it would be very easy to belt the smart plates from there to there instead of all the way over there to there. But, no rebuilding, no refactoring. Big number, not going brr just yet. It'll be all hands on deck for everything that makes smart plates, but that's further down the road. I want to do a bit of building first. I want to get some kind of building going here. And like I say, build it together. I can't do an awful lot yet. Cosmetics are expensive. Especially if you can't automate things. But, yeah. When will I see you again? I'm not sure yet. It's still gonna take an awful long time. And I think we're gonna definitely... Where are we at the moment? 32 hours. It's gonna be a long, long time. I better get to work, yes?